has the whole world in his hand. If that was true, I wouldn't want to live in that world. What more can be said about a man where everything has been said? Let's get into it and cut the bullshit. If you haven't heard of John Melendez before, he was a regular on the Howard Stern Show from 1988 to 2004. Then he made much more money as a host and quote-unquote writer for The Tonight Show with Jay Leno from 2004 to 2013. After that, one could say John never held a steady job ever again till this very day. The content on Mr. Melendez is vast and would take at least a full year to go through. So this documentary presents highlights of John's life, but not the little minutiae that can be otherwise reserved for Julia Gar to cover.
He's not the way he was portrayed on Howard Stern. He's actually a very nice guy, a very hard-working guy, and a lot of fun.
You look beautiful.
Thank you, Bella. Bye.
He's a complete character. He's got little schemes and scams for everything.
You know, Elvis knew, martial arts. Do you know how to do it?
I know. You were getting ready to find out yourself. Elvis knows martial arts. I was bringing some bricks this morning, as a matter of fact.
John was born in Long Island, so yeah, there's that little fact for you. Young John had bright ambitions to be a star one day. He attended New York University Film School. There is debate over whether he graduated or not. But does it really matter? Would it have changed the direction of his life? Probably not. As luck might have it, at the age of 23 in 1988, John was granted an internship at the Howard Stern Show, sight unseen. John, alleged to have had a stutter around the second grade, and he was bullied in school for it. I think that kind of upbringing gave way to the behavior he exhibits today, aka lashing out at people. After his internship ended, he was granted a low-paying job as a phone screener for Howard Stern. John was given the task of compiling the top 5 songs of the week off the Billboard charts. He was to give said list to Mr. Stern, but John being John, he couldn't get the job done.
Let's take that out of his hands.
And the only reason I'm riding John a little bit on this is because in this particular thing that we're talking about, this is probably the 3rd time we're doing this rap.
I know, yeah, it's just annoying.
Same as today. Can't do anything.
It's just he's annoying.
I'll do everything.
I find him very annoying.
But what I love about him is whenever you say, John, you didn't do it. Well, it's somebody else's fault.
Well, Mike.
And for the last 2 weeks, it was great.
Yeah.
But the third, 3 weeks ago, you messed up again.
You didn't say it, don't worry.
Crazy woman.
I have to pass the buck.
Because you know what I used to have these funny conversations with John about that was really funny?
Yeah.
John would be late a lot, right?
Right.
So what he would do was, he'd be late, and I'd sit him down, and he would go, I'm hardly ever late. I go, you've been late like 3 times in the last 3 months. Hardly late. I go, well, that's a lot to me.
Right.
So then what John would do is he would come in on time for 2 weeks in a row.
Right.
And he would come by my desk, and he would go, haven't been late in 2 weeks. And I would go, John, brag to me when you haven't been late in 2 years.
Yeah.
Because, the next day he's going to be late.
And that was the whole thing. After, inevitably, within a week after he bragged, he would be late.
Right.
And it was fog in the LIE. I woke up late.
Right.
I set my alarm.
Yeah, I mean.
His ride home.
Oh.
I left my bag in the hall so numbnuts would see it and realize I didn't leave. But
He's running through the halls. Did Jackie leave me again?
I would have, but I just.
Jackie leave yet?
It's great because I picked him up yesterday, and I come in like, 5 minutes later than him, but he's supposed to be here,
Yeah.
But he said at the last minute, he says, pick me up tomorrow. I said, okay. And as we came up, I guess Gary was just letting somebody in, so he was holding the door as we're coming through the lobby, and I was behind John, and John went past Gary and goes, my car's getting fixed. I had to ride with Jackie. And Gary's eyes did one of those Three Stooges' eyes roll around.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, because it still sort of annoys me. John's supposed to be in at 5:45. So yesterday he walked in at 5:06, as he did today, because he had to ride with Jackie, which is fine. Give me a call. Let me know. I'll get somebody else on the computer to get things started.
Right.
But he doesn't let me know. All he has to do is call the night before or from the road or Lotus Note.
Stuttering John was an interviewer for The Stern Show and had some memorable moments, to say the least. But did John come up with these brilliant questions himself? Nope, it was either Fred, Jackie, or Benji doing it for him. One could say he was a puppet in the game of radio.
Yes.
But do you think that ugly people should have children?
I don't think ugly people should have children, no. I told your mother that.
If there was a draft tomorrow and you were eligible, would you gladly serve or find a cowardly way out?
There's nothing in my past
and nothing in my future that would indicate that in any way I'm associated with the word cowardice, I would gladly volunteer.
Okay, how much money you got?
How much money do I have?
Yeah.
No.
I mean,
count it for me?
No, I mean, are you like, you know, I mean, how much you get, like over 10 million?
I don't know. And when you get to a certain level, you stop counting.
And this feud with Hulk Hogan, is that real, or is that just like fake, like, you know?
We don't do anything fake.
Well, you know, wrestling is fake, though, right?
No. Where the hell have you been?
Come on.
What's the matter with you, huh? Wrestling is fake.
Well, you know what I mean. It's
I don't know what you mean.
Well, it's entertainment. It's not real fighting, you know.
It's not?
Oh, come on, Vince.
God, it's amazing.
What do you think of the French?
How brilliant are you? Wait a minute now. You got to hold up and ask questions. You got to read off a piece of paper.
Not really, but I mean, I just want to see if there's anything that I haven't asked.
French are fairies. Everybody knows that.
Oh, I like that, Vince. Hey, Vince, you have a message for Saddam Hussein?
Saddam Hussein, no. Too real.
But are you amazed by all the white trash that comes out to see these shows?
We don't have any white trash. With the exception of present company.
Oh, come on, Vince. You've done the show, right?
You yourself in the mirror?
What do you think of Howard?
You're not white trash?
Of course not. What do you think of Howard Stern?
Oh, it's great.
All right, I'll see you soon.
Okay, bye.
Do you constantly have a friend who doesn't pick up the check when you go out? Stuttering John was that friend. I don't know if it's lack of awareness or downright arrogance when it comes to him, but the, oh, I lost my wallet is the oldest trick in the book.
Here's a weird bit of gossip that I heard from someone who shall remain anonymous.
Okay.
So Stuttering John comes to work today in a cab, of course. That's how he does it every day. And he calls up, I think, Jason, one of the guys who works in our back office, and he goes, I'm in a cab. I have no money. Come down here with money.
Is that why Jason was running out?
Yeah.
Because I never see him. Every morning he's running out.
I wouldn't have run down. I would have just said, F you.
Yeah.
Sit there.
That's unbelievable. Who doesn't have money? How could you get in a cab and not have money?
Well, see, I took out $100 and I put it in my pocket. I don't know if my wife took it out or something.
Dude, you're making a lot of money with your appearances. I mean, you can't scream poverty.
It gets worse, Howard. Yesterday, I took a cab with Artie. Artie bought lunch, so I felt bad. So I didn't want to ask him to pay for the cab. So I was driving home. I had no wallet. I called my wife, couldn't find it. I had to call my doorman. He had no money. My doorman called downstairs to the...
Is your life so busy and complicated you can't hold on to some money? Like, in other words, you can't find your wallet? And you can't... I mean, are you that disorganized?
Yeah.
What is it, your OCD? Do you
No, it's not OCD. I swear to God. Nothing to do with OCD. I promise.
John had a wife named Suzanne.
It's Whippets. Brain damage. He does that today. It's documented. He lost a check on the comedy tour. $10,000. He lost it. Already found it. He stole money from the show because he had to put a floor in his kitchen. He didn't pay the boys. Always. To this day. 3 weeks ago, he said he lost his wallet and his credit cards at CVS. And it's in the constant. There's something wrong with this guy. Besides being stupid and mental.
For about 15 years, they had 3 children together. Don't worry, John's wife's name was put out there by John himself, and we won't delve any deeper into his personal family life. John talks about people's families, but if one were to stoop to his level, then we would be no better than him. So I choose to say he had a happy family for a time in his life. But the way he treats Susanna from this clip, you can see why the marriage didn't last forever.
Will and Jason were telling me it's really disturbing.
What?
John's behavior at a Super Bowl party, like, John really mistreats his wife. Like, John sits his ass down in a chair like a king and holds court. You know, like, according to these guys, he gets on his cell phone and calls Susanna from his cell phone and starts telling her to go out and buy beer. Like, he can't even get out of the chair. Like, she's right in the apartment. He calls her in the apartment.
Right, he can't even get up to go to another room. He calls her on the phone.
What's her problem?
I don't know. At first he wanted to, he wanted more beer because they ran out of beer. So he called the deli.
He does that to make a show how important he is.
And the deli wouldn't deliver. That upsets him. Then he starts dropping hints to the guys, like, I'll give you 20 if you go buy beer. Because John, it's funny because he's rich and he's poor. Yeah. He doesn't have $1 to tip the cab driver, but he's got 20 to send somebody to buy a $5 six-pack of beer.
It's important.
Where's Jason and Will?
I don't know.
Yeah, come on in, guys, and be real.
What's the deal?
What do you mean?
So you get on the phone to your wife?
Yeah. Let me just say how good my wife is. Let me explain to this, Howard.
Hold on a second. Wait a second.
What's your problem?
Do you take the money out of homeless people's
He's retarded. Why would you take his money?
First of all, he's not retarded.
Yes, he is.
John's a great guy. He asked me, he said, John, I want to open. I said, no way, Larry. He's like, come on, what can I do? I said, pay me. He goes, all right. So what am I going to say no?
Oh, so that's you say no.
I with John last night. I rode in his limo.
Oh, wait a second. Did you buy dinner also?
No. I got a free salad.
John, how can you take this guy's money?
No, what do you mean? He's got way more money than I do.
Yeah, but so what? There's ways of making money in this world, and there's ways to, like, sort of say, you know what, I don't take advantage of it.
But Howard, that's how John figures. If you have more money than him.
No.
Oh, you should pay him.
Listen.
That's why Jackie has
his formula with me is I pay.
You don't ask when you take a job how long you're going to be gone.
Why would you assume when you know how long the show is?
How do you operate in life? Well, everything's a free ride with you. Everything's like, I'm stuttering John. I'm stuttering John. I don't know anything. I'm confused. I don't make any money. I don't know what to do.
Well, you got that right.
Yeah, you're all confused.
All right. Well, I was just calling to say hi.
Good job. Good job. Way to go. You know what you got to do when you're in business?
I love you, Howard.
When you're in business,
but unfortunately, this was not a good idea.
Tell it to Melissa.
I thought it was 2 weeks.
Tell it to Melissa.
Call Julie Brown.
Tell Julie Brown, because she's got a real career going on.
Your best friend.
Your best friend.
All right, bro.
You're stupid. I've always maintained you were stupid.
Okay.
But now you're devious.
Oh, it was so devious.
What is it, Baba Boohai?
He's staying in for the long haul.
Of course,
This is a downtime, and then it'll go back up again.
Right.
And, it's not like there's some big crash.
Right. Thank you. All right, let's continue, Robin.
Yeah.
And like, you know what I heard, Howard, just about the stock market? Europe's exchange didn't crash, so then ours should be fine.
Okay, thank you, John.
In the meantime, I hear him on the phone all day long. What about that stock? You said it was going to go up. What about that stock? I heard you talking like he talks to sell the stockbroker.
Right.
No, when Sal calls, sometimes I ask him about stocks.
Right. I know. He's back on working the phones again, huh?
No. It's Sal. It's not.
It's Sal.
You called him yesterday.
What?
The day before you called him. I know. I heard you. How's that one stock going?
You mean the one? You mean the call
Can
that
you
made
call
to
him at home when you're at home?
Hold on, Gary. I hear you do this because you called
No. He called me.
He called you back.
He wasn't here. That had nothing to do with you. The next thing I did is I heard you calling him.
And what were you calling about?
Because he called me. He's a guest on the show sometimes, so I returned his call. What's your excuse?
No, I'm pretty sure it was because of a stock, but all right.
No, you don't know. Then you're an asshole. You don't know anything about me. So don't you dare say that.
You've never talked to Sal about stocks?
I don't even deal with Sal.
You've never talked to Sal about stocks?
I call Sal back because
I'm sorry. You've never spoken to Sal about stocks, ever.
Don't go fishing. I talk to Sal because sometimes he's a guest on the show. He'll call me and say, hey, I got a stock for you. I don't even invest in it, man. If anything comes,
you never invested in a Sal stock?
That came from you. I don't talk to Sal about stocks. Don't try to sit here and point in the wrong direction.
I'm sorry. You pointed the finger.
Yeah, because you know what? You're on the phone too goddamn much doing things you shouldn't be doing.
You
now you brought it up. You open the can of worms.
You talked about Sal. You talked about Sal as well.
What is he doing?
You talked about Sal.
Who's he talking to?
You talked to Sal as well.
Stockbroker, this guy, that guy, everything but what he's supposed to do before he does his goddamn show.
Yeah, do me a favor. Stick to the show.
You want to start that fight? Come on, buddy.
Gary, you talked to Sal
You
about
want to
stocks.
start that fight? Pick it.
What? You've never talked to Sal about stocks?
I don't call Sal about stocks.
This is a lie.
It's not a lie.
All right.
It's not a lie.
What about you? Forget about him. I'm asking about you.
You're obsessed with Sal on the goddamn stocks.
No, I'm not. He called me. He called me.
John, you called him yesterday. I heard you call him up, and the first words out of your mouth is, what's going on with that stock?
Gary, you don't really know why I called Sal.
I don't.
The real
and you
reason.
don't know why I
So
called
I don't
him.
want to blow it now, but it wasn't about that. So F you. Because you're totally wrong.
This next video I will present to you is a defining moment in John's life. Howard lays all his cards on the table, and John is about to get his shit took. Will this young John here take Howard's advice? Do you think John will merely hear the words but not actually listen to them? If you know how this story ends up, then you will get a kick out of this one. Enjoy!
Let me explain my philosophy to you. And whether you believe it or not, I don't care, but I'm telling you my philosophy.
I believe whatever you say.
All right. What I have tried to do in my career, I don't owe you this explanation, by the way.
I didn't ask for it.
But I got to give it to you.
He's doing you a favor.
All right.
Shut up and take it.
You're going to hear philosophy now. First of all, regarding you, Stuttering John, you are a guy who perceives himself as funny. When you go on the Ricky Lake show, when you go on the Last Call show, when you do these shows, when you go on the Conan show, you turn to people inevitably afterwards and go, hey, was I funny? I'm going to tell you something about yourself. You are the least funny person I've ever met. You are not funny.
Okay.
You're obnoxious.
Okay.
You're not funny.
All right.
I'll tell you what's funny about you. You stutter. When you go on TV and you try to be me, it's not funny.
All right.
It comes off obnoxious.
Okay.
It's a very fine line. You are funny when you are yourself. When you start to talk about yourself, there is a certain naivete about you that is interesting, that is heartwarming, and that is funny when you start to stammer about your life.
Okay.
When you go on the air and you run around like Howard, and you look like you're doing a bad Howard impression, you are not funny.
Okay.
So afterwards, when you come off these shows and you say to me, was I funny? Or you say to Jackie, was I funny? That's funny. Because you're so insecure, you're funny. You're being you. When you go on these shows and you're me, and you're yelling at people, and you're stuttering, and you lose your charm. Now, here's the other thing you ought to learn about yourself.
All right.
You don't take criticism well. You don't listen.
I'm listening.
When I told you to cut Gilbert out of your video, you didn't listen.
I told him that.
What?
Okay.
All right. Shh. 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 The smartest performers are the ones that listen. You know who's a smart performer? Madonna. You know why? You know why she's on top? She'll talk to garbage men. She'll actually watch what they're wearing, what they're listening to. You're not an expert. You know why I'm successful? You know why I've been on top for so long? If a postal worker came up to me and told me he had a good idea, I would actually listen off at him for no reason. He seems to just want to provoke them.
See, it's always funnier to me when the audience is yelling at John. They usually are making a point.
Yeah. No, but it was like, and this one guy was like, "Hey, John, man, lighten up." And John was just like, you know, and he started screaming at him, "Your mother is a whore or something."
What?
I don't know. You got to listen to it.
I heard him the other day, and he had this guy on, and the guy called in. I think he won some kind of a contest. You know, he runs a contest.
Fiona Apple contest.
And so John said, "Sir, I really can't hear you. Could you speak up?" So the guy talks louder. He says, No, I still can't hear you. Are you on a cell phone?" And the guy says, "Yeah." And he says, "Well, could you, maybe if you speak in a lower voice, I'll be able to hear." So the guy speaks lower and deepening his voice and deepening. And John thought that was really funny.
Yeah.
He's just playing with the guy. And then he says, "Now, sir, would you write me a check for $5,000? Seems like you'll do anything."
Oh, I see. A little punchline.
Right.
Yeah, I don't, you know.
That was a long way for me to go for no laugh at all.
I don't know. He yells at a lot of the callers, though. But he yells for no reason. And starts screaming dirty words at them. Like bastard. He uses bastard a lot.
Well, he doesn't know any other words.
Yeah.
I don't think.
What's going on in your show, man? I mean, I'm trying to hear some music.
Well,
no offense.
Howard, I talked for 2 minutes.
I know. It just seems so long, though.
Because it's me. You don't like me, so you don't.
No, I like you. You're a good guy. I don't understand why. It sounds like you're trying to sort of be like this mean. Like
no,
I think you're trying to take a certain element of what I do.
No, that's not true. You know,
no offense.
It's so hard to do anything that's not going to be what you do. So
right.
But I really don't consciously try and do what you do.
No, I'm not. Believe me, you're not doing what I do.
Jesus, here goes. You want me? Come on, mother. Come on, mother. Come on, bro. Come on, bro. I'm up right now. I'll beat your ass, AJ. I'm up right now, mother.
Go home, AJ. Go home.
Oh, really?
No, really. Just for now. I'm not saying go home like get out. I'm saying like go home like calm down.
AJ.
Just calm down.
Fine.
You can't come to the place and punch a guy. Excuse me, AJ. You can't.
Excuse me. How many times this guy?
I know, but you can't do that.
You can't take a joke, AJ. Too many times, John.
So many times.
John, inside, John.
Dude, I don't dictate what kind of calls they go through.
You do.
No, I don't. You put him.
Ronnie Mund is really short, and John is even shorter. He's a midget. He really is.
He picks it up. He knows what's going to happen.
They say all good things must come to an end. John's time at the Howard Stern Show had reached that in early 2004. Some say Mr. Melendez was merely a pawn in a pissing contest between two huge egos, one being Jay Leno and the other Howard. From making a measly $30,000 a year at Stern to six figures at $500,000 as a host of The Tonight Show, John would have been an absolute idiot to pass up on an opportunity like that. I think John tried to get Howard's attention, and this was John's attempt here.
Right, yeah, he get your own action is what his attitude is. All right, thank you, Shuli. I got to run, and we got to take a break. We'll be back. We got a big show for you today. John, no meeting, no 25 minutes. How about a what?
Nothing. I don't know what to say.
All right. If you were a high chick, it'd be different.
You were kidding on the air, weren't you?
Yeah, that's what it's going to be now.
You were kidding.
I'm not kidding. I'm more comfortable having this conversation on the air.
Gary, could you leave the room? I want to. I clearly want to.
Well, anyway, folks, I don't know how many of you saw David Blaine's special on TV. You know, for holding his breath underwater. Our own John Menendez. Now, John, you tried to break the record for holding your breath, right?
Yeah.
I did,
Okay.
Jay.
Now, what was the time you had to beat? What was the time you had to beat?
8 minutes, 58 seconds.
Okay. Well, we made a video of the attempt, and I tried to help John in any way that I could. Hey, let's take a look here.
All right, you ready to try this? That David Blaine ain't nothing, okay? Now, just 9 minutes. Just stay down for 9 minutes and don't be a baby, all right? Ready, set, go. You're doing good. Just 8 minutes to go. All right, hold on, John. Just 6 more minutes to go. You be a professional. Kicking and scratching isn't good.
They made him the clown. That didn't last long. And they put him in the audience. And they took him off the air completely. And they held up a cup. And they kept lowering his salary and cutting his responsibilities. Then he said he was a writer. He never wrote anything.
Nothing. What are you doing? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I did it. I did it.
Oh, no, hang on. I thought it was 9 minutes. Look, I had it upside down. Just 6 minutes. All right, look, let's start again. Go.
John announced the guests for The Tonight Show with Jay Leno for a few years. Not sure when he took a behind-the-scenes role as a quote-unquote writer for the show. John still claims to have beaten Shaq in basketball on the show. If you watch that clip, John's recollection of that event is different from reality. There are very little videos of John on The Tonight Show. Maybe because he was on during a time when video sharing services were just becoming mainstream and NBC owns all that content and it's not released anywhere. That Tonight Show job got him an opportunity to appear on I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here in 2009. Here is some footage from his time on there.
Later, John today.
Hey, wow,
You know who the true players are.
The new sheriff in town.
He is the funniest guy I have ever met.
What's the difference between snot and spit?
Well, anyway, we got a great show today. You know, where's my newspaper, Johnny? You take my newspaper again?
Jay, it's a newspaper.
Oh, yeah, but, you know, after you read it, it's not a newspaper anymore. It's actually an old paper.
Look at the talent of this guy.
This is why you want my son.
Oh, yeah. Here's your newspaper. Oh, thank you. Now I don't want to read it anymore, because you probably read the headline. It's not
Here he goes.
Do you want to have another challenge of anything in the world besides...
Well, okay, I'll tell you what, Artie. Here's my challenge.
You'll cut your own nose hair?
Yeah, here's my challenge. And
Look at Arlie. He won't even look at him. Because he stinks.
What is it?
Remember those guys?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, those guys, man. They were cool guys. That's his whole show.
Now, I think it's important to point out that under federal copyright law, we are allowed to provide transformative commentary and criticize the public figure John Melendez, also aka known as Stuttering John.
Mm-hmm.
We will be providing transformative commentary, and especially now that this is newsworthy in our community, because he specifically referenced us, and I think as anybody, we should be able to defend ourselves. We should be able to defend ourselves to the accusations that Stuttering John is making to us in his California home. So let's see what he said.
a little silent in the past, but I think it's time that I address the trolls and the fucking haters for what they are.
Are they trolls and haters, John?
Cool, young, handsome, hip guys.
I mean, yeah, I would agree with him.
Cool and fun.
Yeah, cool and fun, John.
Seriously, are you really gonna listen or really follow?
I'm sorry. Can I just point something out? Because I just went back to the tab of our show.
Mm-hmm.
The fucking quality of the video for us
versus his
versus what's underneath is it's staggeringly bad.
And let's not even mention the quality of the person. Fucking you loser.
I think it's time that I address the trolls and the fucking haters for what they are.
Fucking haters, man.
Fucking haters, man. I've been doing this for I was
18 years old.
Seriously.
Uh-huh.
Are you really going to listen or really follow two bald fat losers and their mom?
John, you're a fat midget, and you will be bald very soon. So shut the hell up.
Basement.
Cockroach, Carl.
I
That's you jumping up and down.
You know, what are the chances?
Oh my God. Right, because he had a cockroach problem in one of his apartments.
Well, it is only apartment, yeah.
Right, oh right, not his condo.
Oh. Whoa! Oh!
John's life at 58 has turned into a one-man show on YouTube, complete with tricks at $2 per super chat at the minimum. John will say almost anything unless he doesn't agree with it. He may have generated the power to start a community around people making fun of him. But at the end of the day, it's just a man in his home who's lonely and tries to make friends online. If you meet John in person, though, here is a dose of what might happen to you.
Come into the fucking apologize.
Here you can really tell he's a midget and he has a giant water head. He's like a Napoleon problem. He's useless. Now John says he confronted everybody and he was the aggressor, and here I didn't do anything, and he's pointing to security. This guy said this guy talked about my kids. He's a little faggot. But I love to listen to John spin it. He's totally delusional and a liar. Look at Melton just laughing at him.